Good morning. I am Sushma Tripathi, PGT History from Kendriya Vidyalaya Dhana. I am going to start today Subject History, Book 1, Chapter 2, Topic Kings, Farmers and Towns. This is Part 1. Dear students, we are discussing the end of Harappan civilization after 600 BCE and 600 CE history. After end of the Harappan civilization, there are several developments we have seen in different parts of the subcontinent. हड़प्पा सभ्यता के पतन के बाद भारतीय उपमहाद्वीप में बहुत सारे विकास हुए जिनका वर्णन इसमें किया गया है. First development, Rigveda was composed. As you know, Rigved was the oldest Veda among 4 Vedas, and this was composed by people living along the Indus and its tributaries. ऋग्वेद को सिंधु और इसकी सहायक नदियों के आसपास रहने वाले लोगों ने लिखा था. सेकेंड डेवलपमेंट, एग्रीकल्चरल सेटलमेंट्स. एग्रीकल्चरल सेटलमेंट्स इज नोन इन हिंदी कृषि बस्तियां. दिस सेटलमेंट्स वाज emerged North India, Deccan Plateau and parts of Karnataka. And now third developments, pastoral populations evidence found in the Deccan and further south. And new modes of disposal of the dead. शवों को दफनाने की नई पद्धति यहाँ हमें द फर्स्ट मिलेनियम BCE में सेंट्रल एंड साउथ इंडिया में दिखलाई पड़ती है. वी हैव सीन न्यू मोड्स ऑफ डिस्पोजल ऑफ द डेड इन सेंट्रल एंड साउथ इंडिया. एंड which period? This was situated the period of the first millennium BCE. I hope you will get it. शवों को दफनाने की जो नई परंपरा है वो प्रथम शताब्दी ईसा पूर्व में मध्य और दक्षिण भारत में दिखलाई पड़ती है. दिस इज नोन मेगालिथ्स. मेगालिथ्स मीन्स इलेबोरेट स्टोन स्ट्रक्चर्स. मेगालिथ बड़े बड़े पत्थर होते थे जो कि ब्यूरियल्स के चारों तरफ बनाए जाते थे. एंड इन मेनी केसेस वी हैव सीन the dead were buried with a rich range of iron tools and weapons. Iron tools and weapons also kept with the dead bodies, and this is seen in South India, and this is called new culture, megalithic culture. You are seeing this inscription. This inscription was situated in Sanchi, Madhya Pradesh, and this inscription 2nd century BCE. And now we are going to discuss some changes during 6th century BCE. We found evidence emergence of the early states, empires and kingdoms. इस पीरियड में हमें अर्ली स्टेट्स दिखलाई देते हैं, आरंभिक राज्य, साम्राज्य और किंगडम. इससे पहले जो है ये चेंजेस दिखलाई नहीं पड़ रहे थे। इसे हम पहली बार 600 BCE टू 600 CE में ही देख रहे हैं। एंड political process were other changes evident in the ways in which agricultural production was organized. There are also evidence for agricultural production was organized. कैसे agricultural production को जो कृषि उत्पादन था उसको organized किया जाता था. And appearance of new towns we have also seen in this period. Historians try to understand these developments by the help of inscriptions, text, coins, visual materials, etc. एपिग्राफी इज द स्टडी ऑफ इंस्क्रिप्शन से अभिलेखों के अध्ययन को एपिग्राफी कहा जाता है. नाउ वी विल सी point 1 of this chapter, Prinsep and Piyadasi. James Prinsep was an officer in the mint of the East India Company. जेम्स प्रिंसेप ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी के जो मिंट मीन्स कॉइन, जहाँ पे कॉइन्स ढाले जाते थे वहाँ पर ये एक अधिकारी थे. ही डेसिफर्ड ब्राह्मी एंड खरोष्टी स्क्रिप्ट. ब्राह्मी और खरोष्टी स्क्रिप्ट को इन्होंने डेसिफर्ड किया था, which have been seen in the earliest inscriptions and coins, जिसे हम आरंभिक अभिलेखों और कॉइन्स में देख सकते हैं. He noticed most of these mentioned a king referred to as Piyadasi, meaning pleasant to behold. He noticed most of inscriptions written king's name Piyadasi meaning pleasant to behold. उन्होंने ये देखा कि बहुत सारे जो अभिलेख हैं उन पर राजा का नाम पियदस्सी लिखा हुआ है, और पियदस्सी का मतलब होता है प्लेजेंट टू बीहोल्ड, मनोहारी मुखाकृति यानी सुंदर मुख वाला. एंड some inscriptions which also refer to the king as अशोका. कुछ जो अभिलेख हैं उन पर अशोक नाम मिलता है. एंड बुद्धिस्ट टेक्स्ट also mentioned the most famous ruler's name Ashoka. After deciphered of Brahmi and Kharoshti script, this gave a new direction to investigations into early Indian political history. As European and Indian scholars used inscription and text composed in a variety of languages to reconstruct the lineage of major dynasties that had ruled the subcontinent. ये ब्राह्मी और खरोष्टी लिपि के पढ़े जाने के उपरांत हिस्टोरियंस, चाहे वो भारत के हों चाहे वो यूरोप के हों, उन्हें बहुत मदद मिली. They started to study other languages, inscription and text, and they reconstruct the lineage of major dynasties. वंशावलियाँ तैयार करने में इनको मदद करी जो कि सब कंटिनेंट के विभिन्न भागों में रूल करते थे, वहाँ शासन करते थे. As a result, the broad counters of political history were in place by the early decades of the 20th century. His scholars began to shift their focus to the context of political history. जो स्कॉलर्स थे उन्होंने पॉलिटिकल हिस्ट्री के संदर्भ में यह जानने का प्रयत्न किया कि देयर वर कनेक्शन बिटवीन पॉलिटिकल चेंजेस एंड इकोनॉमिक एंड सोशल डेवलपमेंट्स. So finally they realized there are indirect connections but it's a not direct connection. इनमें राजनीतिक जो परिवर्तन होते हैं उनका जो अप्रत्यक्ष संबंध है वो इकोनॉमी और सोशल डेवलपमेंट से होता है, लेकिन ये जो है प्रत्यक्ष नहीं होता है, कनेक्शन तो इनमें जरूर होता है. Point 2, the earliest states. 2.1, the 16 Mahajanpadas. Now we are going to study about 16 Mahajanpadas. And this 6th century BCE considered a major turning point in early Indian history. Why this was a major turning point? Because this era associated with early states, cities, the growing use of iron, the development of coinage. So, first time we have seen early states, cities, growing use of iron, डेवलपमेंट ऑफ कॉइनेज. तो यहाँ पर हम आरंभिक राज्य, शहरों, आयरन का प्रयोग, सिक्के का प्रयोग पहली बार देख रहे हैं, जो कि इतिहास का टर्निंग पॉइंट साबित होता है. ये thought processing also started in this period. We have seen Buddhism and Jainism religion emerged. Early Buddhist and Jain text mentioned 16 Mahajanpadas name, and some most Janpadas name as like Vaji, Magadh, Koshal, Kuru, Panchal, Gandhar and Avanti. No doubt they are not similarly mentioned in Buddhist and Jain text in sequence, but there is one thing clear. These are amongst the most important महाजनपदास. ये जितने भी बुद्ध और जैन टेक्स्ट में महाजनपदों के नाम दिए गए हैं, ये 16 महाजनपदों में सबसे ज़्यादा महत्वपूर्ण थे. There are most Mahajanpadas were ruled by king, but we have seen guns or sangha also there. They ruled collectively called rajas, and Mahavira and Buddha also associated or belonged to guns. For example, in the case of the Bajji Sangha, the rajas probably controlled resources as like land collectively. गनों में समूह में शासन किया जाता था और इसको ओलिग्रैची कहा जाता था. ग्रुप ऑफ पीपल रूल्ड, दैट इज कॉल्ड ओलिग्रैची. एंड एक एग्जाम्पल हम इसमें देखते हैं वज्जी संघ का. वज्जी संघ में राजा कलेक्टिवली रूल कर रहे हैं और रिसोर्सेस पर भी उनका कलेक्टिवली अधिकार है. Although their histories are often difficult to reconstruct due to the lack of resources. There are lack of resources for reconstructing the history of Gan or Sangha. But no doubt some of these states ruled for 1000 years. इसमें कोई डाउट नहीं है कि कुछ जो संघ या गण थे उन्होंने 1000 वर्षों तक शासन किया था. In this map located 16 Mahajanpadas. Students read it very carefully. In northwest Kamboj, Gandhar, capital Takshila, Avanti, capital Ujjaini, Matsya, capital Chedi, Magadh, most important Janpada Rajgir, etc. You have seen in this map, all 16 Mahajanpadas were located. Every Mahajanpadas had a capital city, and this city was fortified. प्रत्येक महाजनपदों की अपने राजधानी होती थी और इनको चारों तरफ से किलेबंद किया गया था. Fortified cities, armies and bureaucracies. Maintenance of these things required a lot of resources. In 6th century BC, Brahmanas began composing Sanskrit text Dharma Sutra, and Dharma Sutra laid down norms for rulers as well as social categories. Expected to be Kshatriya, it means in Dharma Sutra written, ruler should be from Kshatriya. Rulers were advised to collect taxes from cultivators, traders, and artisans. We don't know pastoralists or forest peoples paid taxes or not, but rulers can rates on neighboring states were recognized as legitimate means of acquiring wealth. पर जो राजा थे वे अपने पड़ोसी राज्यों पर आक्रमण करके धन प्राप्त कर सकते थे, इसको वैध माना गया है. और इस some states acquired standing armies and maintained regular bureaucracies. कुछ स्टेट्स ऐसे हैं जो आर्मीज और रेगुलर ब्यूरोक्रेसीज को मेंटेन करते थे. अदर्स डिपेंड ऑन मिलिटिया एंड peasants provided or recruited armies for them. 2.2 First amongst the 16 Magdha. Magadh was most important state amongst the 16 Mahajanpadas, and this developed period 6th to 4th centuries BCE, and there are several reasons found for development of Magadha. First, agriculture was especially productive. यहाँ पे जो कृषि होता था उसमें बहुत उत्पादन होता था. एंड सेकेंड, iron mines also helped because this is provide resources for tools and weapons. ये tools और weapons provide करते थे. Elephants also found in forest, and elephant an important component of the army. And next, Ganga and its tributaries. Ganga and its tributaries provided cheap and convenient communication. But Buddhist and Jain writers who wrote about Magadha attributed its power to the policies of individuals. They said Magadha, the region of Magadha became powerful because of policies of strong rulers. Strong rulers, they mentioned name as like Bimbisara, Ajatasattu and Mahapadma Nanda. They are the best rulers considered in text Buddhist and Jain. and they said they implemented their policies by the help of their ministers. So that's there are several reasons behind became strong states among 16 Mahajanpadas. Magad. Magad had two capitals, first Rajgah and second Patliputra. Now we will discuss both capitals in detail. So Rajgah है प्राकृतिक name for present day Rajgir in Bihar. This Rajgir is situated in Bihar. And meaning of Rajgah है house of the king. Rajgah was a fortified settlements located amongst hills. फोर्टिफाइड सेटलमेंट्स है ये, और ये जो है हिल्स के बीच में स्थित है. In the 4th century BCE, Patliputra became the capital of Magdha, present day Patna, and this was along the river of Ganga. As we know, the Ganga commanding routes of communication. तो यहाँ पर हमने देखा कि मगध की दो राजधानियाँ हैं. एक है राजगाह है, इसका प्राकृतिक नाम राजगीर है जो बिहार में है, और 4th सेंचुरी BC में पाटलिपुत्र को मगध की राजधानी बना दी गई, और ये राजधानी जो है पटना में है. इसका वर्तमान जो प्लेस पाटलिपुत्र है जो वर्तमान में पटना कहलाता है, और ये गंगा नदी के किनारे स्थित है. Now next thing we will discuss in next part of the video. Thank you.